First, see the global population and food security. Everywhere population is rising, and this rising population is always placing a greater pressure on food supplies. And these food security challenges are throughout the world. Anywhere, regardless of their location and the prosperity, the food situation is getting worse due to climate change and every other environmental factors. Now, in the second graph, I have put the freshwater withdrawals. It is highest in India. We are drawing 761 kilometer cubes per year of water from underground water. That way, we are in the vagaries of monsoon, and the more draw of water that leads to the groundwater, lowering the groundwater every year. This is the global scenario of mineral fertilizers use. In India, we are using only 17 million tons of mineral fertilizers, whereas in China, it is maximum consumer of mineral fertilizers on arable lands. That is 45 million tons. The variability, vulnerability to climate change, that India
Hello. Sir, you're not audible, sir. Dr. Anurag. Hello. Sir, we are unable to hear you. Hello. Hello. Hello, Dr. Anurag. Hello. Hello.
yeah, hello, am I audible?
Now you are audible, sir. Share your screen. Yes, sir. Please proceed. Please proceed.
Then the climate change and productivity loss. In India, we are again ranking number 2 or 3 for the productivity loss in terms of productivity with the climate change. Now the common climatic stresses in India. Drought, we 70% of the land is under drought, 12% land under floods, 8% under cyclones, and northern regions means Jammu Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, they are under frost, heat. It is frequent at many places like Rajasthan, Gujarat, and parts of Maharashtra, Telangana here. Coastal salinity, it is getting higher. Here is on all the coastlines. These all factors leads to the food security and poverty. They are the key factors in the climate stresses. Again, what is variability? It is the difference in the measurements. Means value changes randomly because of error in reading or error in the sensor. A systematic biasness. We are biased towards some factors and we are again taking the wrong measurements. And always the value changes due to temporal and as well as the spatial. In fields, variability leads the soil fertility differences, moisture content in the field, texture of soil is different everywhere, topographies, in the population of pests, in the pH range differences are there in the soil. These all factors we have to take into mind for having the better planning for the saving of fertilizer input. And these fast changer variabilities, the nitrate levels, moisture content, the population of pests. And this slow changes, they are topography, texture of the soil, and pH. Means nitrate level reduces at a higher rate as compared to the topography. Means topography never changes very slowly due to the erosion of soil or water erosion. Now I come to the economic variability. These factors, especially within a field like soil, texture, organic matter, water holding capacity. Water holding capacity may be different in the different places of a same field. Likewise, organic matter. Somewhere it is more, somewhere it is less. Topography depends on the slope of the soil. And the second part is fertility, where pH, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and nutrients. These may differ in a single piece of land. And the available water again, and cultivar of crop. Which cultivar we are using, it is always different for different measurements. Then the climatic features like temperature, rainfall, and again in the field weeds, species and population that are influencing the crop growth, insect and species and feeding patterns, and tillage practices. What tillage practices are we following? Like deep tillage, shallow tillage, conservation tillage, or different type of tillage practices always make a changes in the soil. Then again the soil compaction, macro and micro environment, crop stands. You might have seen this difference in the crop stands. Somewhere the crop is very good, somewhere its crop is very poor. And the applicability of fertilizers. Simply, normally we apply fertilizer through broadcasting. It depends on the man who is broadcasting the fertilizer. Somewhere it gives more fertilizer doses, and somewhere it is less. And crop returns and the last day irrigation. If our field is not labeled, the irrigation, some of the field may get higher irrigation, some of the field may get very less irrigation. That way the crop growth hampers and we get poor results. Now we come to the smart farming. This is somewhere like this. Benefits, it saves water, saves fertilizer, pesticides, and energy use in agriculture. And it is protecting our environment. And we are getting product quality, better quality product, nutrient and taste. Some apps are available nowadays that advises the farmer when to irrigate and how much to irrigate. It depends on the sensors, which is taking data from the crop and the soil, and they automatically suggest which time is better and how much water is to be applied. And another is the N calculator. This is better for the small farmers. Simple, if logger is there, it is taking on the surface of the crop, it automatically detects if there is requirement of nitrogen or not. If there is requirement, then we have to apply. And several portals and apps are available based on the soil reports. Then comes the precision agriculture. It is a part of smart farming where we have to apply which piece of land requires more fertilizer or which field is getting less fertilizer. We have to apply less fertilizer. Means the variability in the soil or the field Some variable rate applicators technology is available where the machine is applying to sensing the soil data. And precision agriculture, it provides the opportunity to do the right things at the right place at the right time and in a right way. It is applicability based on the technologies which detect and decides which is right for the field or getting the higher yields. These some of the areas I have listed here: the feed management, arable farming, livestock monitoring, indoor farming, fish, forestry, and storage monitoring. Here, the precision agriculture or precision technology, it is very helpful. Precision farming, how it works? It is giving some sensors are there in the soil or placed in the field. It gives signals to a satellite or a receiver, and again it gives command to the machines. That way it is working. Then what is the precision agriculture? It is technology for caring the each plant. These technologies and application principles to manage the spatial and temporal variation in the soil. And again, another definition is the management strategy which identifies, analyzes the variability within a field to increase the profit and reduce the environmental impact. Another definition is farming by foot, farming by satellite, site-specific management, prescription farming. Just like when we go for some ailment to the doctor, it prescribes. Likewise, the precision farming or precision agriculture is prescribing where we have to apply the inputs or we have to take where we have to take the action for managing the crops. It is an environment-friendly system. It optimizes the product quality, quantity, and minimizing the cost and human intervention. These all technologies, they are affecting the human employment. Our country is so much overpopulated that we are not short of human supply, but the cost of labor, it is getting every time getting higher. That way, it's becoming very costly affair as with respect to the human labor costs. What we are doing today in the agriculture and mechanical machineries are used. It is hardware oriented, manual on-site control, independent dumb machines, and the user and environment demanding. It is unpredictable quality and quantity. Now we are moving towards the future agriculture. That will be the information-based, software-oriented, automatic and remotely controlled, and it is a network of smart machines. It will be user and environmental friendly. The heat prediction is there with respect to quality and quantity, both. The objective of precision agriculture is precise operations. It is reducing the wastes, improving the profits, and maintaining the environment. What is required for the precision agriculture? Because we are having 85% of land is degraded now. It is affected by the soil or the water of the wind erosion. We are depleting the water sources so fast. And it is a socio-economic need to enhance the productivity per unit of land, water, and the time. And the improper use of fertilizer and chemicals, it always put pressure on the environment with respect to pollution. If we are applying more fertilizer, but we are not getting most of the fertilizer getting to deep percolation or in the form of nitrous oxide in the air. It is essential component to poverty alleviation. Means some small farmer, if they apply in the right quantity or right way of fertilizer, they may save the cost of fertilizer or inputs. To, like last week I was in Ladakh. They are using over seed rate. Means where there is requirement of 100 kg per hectare, then they are using 150 kgs per hectare. Means we can reduce the cost of seeds also with this technology. We are having 169 or 170 million acres of land for agriculture, whereas in USA, total arable land is 179, almost similar. In India, 2/3 of land is rainfed, which can, where the production can be increased very much. And it is in this situation of present time, it is holding a good promise for techno and green revolution. In the seeds, if we see the seeds, in 1900, one farmer was feeding 8 people. In 2025, one farmer feeding to more than 1,000 people. This is possible due to yielding seeds, use of machinery, use of inputs like fertilizer, pesticide, etc. And at the end, the harvesting machines that are available that harvest and produce in a small time. It is a system architecture of agriculture. These are some pockets, some it is base station, farmhouses, all everywhere sensors are there that is giving signals to the farmer with ease at a house. It can manage everything from their house itself. The machines are auto run that can be controlled from remotely. Now comes to the variable rates applicators. Different amounts of inputs while going across the field. Means where the fertilizer requirement is less, the machine automatically gives the less fertilizer as compared to other areas where the fertilizer requirement is more. It depends on the soil test values. Some soil maps are developed earlier and that is fed to the machine and automatically the software controls the machine for applying the inputs. Then variable technology. This is the machine which is applying at a different rate. Then components of precision farming, the tillage, what depth and residue availability in the soil. It all this factor is controlled by the machine. Planting seed, how much seed is to be placed in the soil and at what depth. Spraying. It happens at some patches, the insect attack is there, whereas the rest of field there is no. In that case, this technology can spray the affected area with the chemicals and control the pests. And this can manage the whole field. And that way we can reduce the cost. Crop scouting in the problem areas and yield monitor can be done at the time of harvesting through GPS, VRD, and GIS. This common technologies nowadays, several trained persons are available in India. GPS, simple technology navigation device, which lets us pinpoint location. It is even our mobile phones, that is a good navigation device or a GPS device. The GPS works through orbiting satellites which are emitting the radio signals and message by the GPS receivers. It can be done, correction can be done with our normal GPS to give accuracy to 1 meter. It can be achieved using a stationary base stations or it can be subscription from commercial satellite broadcast service can be taken. This is some pictorial system, like this is base station. It is transmitting signal to satellite, and again it is receiving there. And this is machine harvesting machine, combined harvester. This computer display is there, GPS is there, and this is transmitting signals how much yield we are getting from the field. And the farmer is, or the owner of the land is getting the information of their produce. This is done through sensors that is mounted on the combined machines, and it is coupled with the GPS logging location. And the crops, any crop can be taken, but till date, corn, wheat, canola, and soybean that are being used for this GPS technology. Some pictures of the harvesting machines, cotton, and these are the emitters. This is sensors placed in the combine or in soil and field. The yield maps. Yield maps show us the report card of the field, where we are getting high yields, where we are getting less yields, and it also quantifies the variability within a field. In the next season, we can manage these variations very well. It is simply sampling to explain the yield differences. And it depends, the technology working on the VRT sensor-based systems. It is real-time sensing and it is controlling. This is one VRT fertilizer spreader machine, and this is application map. This map is already developed for a field, and that is fed in the machine, and software takes all care. Another system is remote sensing using satellites, aerial maps, or it highlights the variability that's within a field. Images may be made from color to infrared. See, the remote sensing satellite images give the red color images, whereas in color films, they are available with the aerial photographs. But nowadays, Google images or Google satellite data, that can also be used for this system. Some ground control points are there, where data loggers are placed, GPS antenna with the machines, and ground control points there. These points are longitude based, latitude based of a specific targeted site. These target locations are later used to georeference or georeference of an image. And the uses differential is 1 meter accuracy is there. Heat monitoring we can done. Variable rate applications of inputs we can do. Non-differential handheld devices are available. It dependent on the accuracy, dependent on the receiver. Clear view of satellite atmospheric differences. These images always show that atmospheric differences and disturbances. Likewise, we are predicting the 3 or 7 days weather forecasting. That is depending on the images we are getting from the satellite. In which direction the cloud movement is there, and which area will get more rains in next 7 days or 10 days or 2 days, like that. Then these high resolution variability, 1:1 fit experiments. When it is like checkerboards, we put sample like this way, zigzag, or every time we have to take the sample from every grid. The whole area is divided into the grid system, and where samples is taken. Through these samples analysis, we can make a soil diagram, and that can be used later on with the machines. That's differently, we can take this grid center sampling, like in the air, like everywhere we can take random sampling. But and then after getting the sample, it can we composite one and make different type of analysis with these samples. The more the sample we take, the more accuracy we get in maintaining the soil maps. Like uniform fertilizer applications. We are uniformly applying here application fertilizer. Here different dose but same fertilizer. Whereas in case of the soil maps, every variability you can see the blue color, the light blue, the green, yellow. Everywhere we have to apply different doses of fertilizer in the each field. That way we can have more accuracy of fertilizer application or any input like irrigation, pests like that. Then challenges. What is the challenges? The technical experts are low, but nowadays some experts are getting more knowledge, and that knowledge can be used with these for this technology. Our land holding is very less. Most of the farmers are having less than 1 hectare of land, or then they are doing the subsistence farming. They are producing for themselves and excess grains they are selling in the market for getting some cash. The technology is very costly nowadays, but I think it may get cheaper in future years. And the internet access. Sometimes it is 4G network are available in India, but later stages we can have 5G or 6G, and whole country may be covered with the internet access. When the every part of the country is connected with this, the technology may be used at a higher. And literacy rate, 40% is there illiteracy rate. Then it is again a problem because they are reluctant to adopt any technology, and moreover they are costly and they are not using these technologies. Then how to go for the PA or the smart farming? We have to make a farmer cooperatives, self-help groups. But again, some problems with cooperatives, some vested interests are there with different individuals. And if the cooperative is good, then it can be adopted. Likewise, Amul Dairy Federation or Amul Cooperative Society. It is very good cooperative example in India. And if we go for a larger area, it will be cheap applications. And multidisciplinary teams of scientists will work on this. We can have pilot projects on a smaller area, and it creates awareness to different farmers and the landowners and government policies. Last, simply this is laser machine that levels the machine, but land saving water and increasing the land by 2%. Simply by labeling, we can have 2% increase. Means if water is spread on the labeled field, it spreads uniformly over the whole field. But if it is not labeled, some field get higher irrigation water and somewhere it get less. Then again, the small land holdings, heterogeneity of cropping system. It is major problem. Every farm or every farmer is growing different crop. It will, the precision technology may be better for it. Like in US, if it is a cotton maize belt, they are growing thousands of hectares with maize, cotton, wheat. That can be managed very easily through PX. Then technical advice lacking is there, and proper machinery is not available right now. And if we see our Indian context, availability of quality seed is again a problem. It is very costly. Timely sowing. Still, our sowing time is depending on the monsoon, onset of monsoon, because we are having good irrigation facilities throughout the country. Somewhere it is very good, but most of the land are dependent on the rainfall. Precisely sowing, if machine is available, we can go for it. Otherwise, we are again sowing more higher seed rate. Then plant is sent manually. We are doing fertilizer pesticide at a precise inputs and timely weed removal. Herbicide quality is again a problem. Sometimes the farmers are getting low quality herbicide, and that is not controlling the weeds and its availability. Again, a question in mind. And timely weed removal cease like this. If we remove weeds within 25 days of sowing, the yield automatically increase. It is more helpful in the dryland areas where it affects more with respect to moisture competition, the space competition. Because weeds are more prominent in the field and they grow faster as compared to domesticated plants, crop plants. Then again, insect pest disease and timely, adequate, precise irrigation. If we go for the machine that we can have a good harvest and quality harvest. Then comes the climate smart agriculture. What is it? It is the food security. It is mitigation the climate effect, changing climate mitigated, and the adaptive capacity of the farmer. This can be done through if farmer is growing crops which is requiring higher water consumption, we can change the crop. But it is the adaptive capacity of the farmer. If he is willing to change, it is well and good. Otherwise, we have to say like this, farmers are not ready to change their crops. Simply, it is a consortium practice and policies. The food security, mitigation, and the adaptation. Three components of this policy is there. And this all leads to outputs like productivity, rising productivity, more returns, it is more efficient, less CO2 emissions, and it is resilient to soil and as well as environment. Some photograph I have put it from Haryana Karnal in Bihar. See, this is the condition of crop here. With climate smart agriculture, it is without climate smart agriculture. The crop is getting dry earlier as compared to this side. Because here irrigation is maintained through precisely where it is given flooded. And like farmers practice, they give irrigation after 10 days or 15 days. It depends. Same thing in maize crop. See the scattered population of maize plants in Bihar. This is, you can see here, the two differences between feed. How much can we save? And it is the technology like this, crop should say us how much to irrigate. The sensors are placed in the field, they sense the soil moisture and automatically signals to the controller. And this controller operates the pump and the irrigation is done. Some expert systems are available web-based, nutrient experts for wheat, nutrient expert system for hybrid maize. It gives the idea about the optimal planting density, evaluate the current nutrient management practices, meaningful yield gains, fertilizer NPK rates required at the field, and development application strategy of fertilizer at the right place, right time, right location. These some sensors are available. Simply placed on the top of leaf, it gives the results. This can be done like this. Climate smarts, higher input, yield is more, variation is more. We cannot say the variation in the soil. Greenhouse gas emissions more. Intensity we are not sure of. Higher investment income is at par. Like zero tillage, yield is at par, less variation. Greenhouse emissions at par. Emission intensity goes down, investment goes down, income rises. Likewise, other thing, all the different aspects are listed here. Then the climate services, tensiometers means the sensor in moisture sensor in soil, nitrogen sensors. This is a software. It is targeting the genotypes. Which genotype we have to put in the feed based on different input parameters. Which cropping system we have to follow. Depending on the soil type, rainfall pattern, temperature regimes, we have to feed it. And it gives the crop and the variety, how much nutrient we have to apply. Should we go for residue management or tillage operations, weed and pest management, like this. And at last, the socio-ecological systems. This system considers all the parameters, right from field to the socio-economics. Then research for development approach. Different hubs are there. It is a module. We can have the climate-based system it is focusing strategic application, research capacity development to the delivery system, and it should be participatory approach. We cannot thrust any technology to a farmer if farmer is willing. Then technology may do wonders. If farmer is reluctant to adopt, the results are not so good. It is my experience. And innovation systems are there, convergence and synergy networks should be there, and consortium of active farmers or active stakeholders. Everything what we are doing for farmers, and farmers should be ready to take the technology if it is fruitful to them. And different business models that are available. This private sector, they are scaling nowadays smart agriculture practices. Three type of business models: back-end, policy frameworks, service providers, markets, export purposes, and means value chain approaches. This all gives the higher yield, more market control, more time, higher revenue, less risks, and climate change. That gives purpose for animal feed, extra revenue through cooperation. Some approaches like weather smart, forecasting of weather, index-based insurance, seeds for needs, and crop diversity agroforestry. This is for field operations. So for insurance purpose, crop not for like financial insurance, it is a crop insurance, agroforestry. Sometimes crop fails, but forestry gives some stability to the income. Water smart, and carbon smart, nutrient smart, energy smart, and knowledge smart. Every smart themes are I have listed here that can be achieved through this, or we should go for these approaches. In this, multi-stakeholder participatory and the local adaptation should be there. We should focus more on youth, women, and socially disadvantaged groups. Because youth, they are more adapted to new technologies and they are well versed with the new innovations, and that can be applied in the field. And different cooperatives and service windows that can be created for the use of farmers. The major challenges and opportunities for women and youth, small holding, and socially differentiated groups. These differences in the group that makes difference. Thank you. This much I want to share with you with the smart technology. If we adopt these technology in a proper way, we can have wonders in the agriculture, and we will make our country self-sufficient in everything. Food grain we are sufficient, but in other things like fruits, vegetables, animal products, milk, poultry, everywhere we will be self-sufficient, or rather we can export these things and earn for nature. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for an detailed and informative presentation. I will take up the questions from the participants now, sir. The first question is, what is the first smart farm automation you suggest to get started?
What's the smart
Smart farm automation you suggest to get started?
farm? Simply, if we follow the prediction of weather, if weather prediction is we are following, we can do wonders. Like we are not believing the weather forecasting now. See, when weatherman is saying that the next 2 days is rainy, then if we plan our activities accordingly, then we can have a good output, or rather we can save different inputs also. This
Okay.
is the believing in the forecasting and technology.
Okay. Which automation you suggest, sir, when somebody wanted to convert it into a smart farm? First, which automation they should consider?
First is soil sensors, moisture sensors.
Okay.
Means because water is most precious input for our agriculture, because we are depleting our water sources. If we are able to save our water, that way we can have very good agriculture.
Okay. I'll move on to the next question, sir. What is the additional expenditure that will be required, say, per acre for implementing smart farming?
See, ma'am, this smart farming is a big subject. Every technology is dependent on the sensors. For each component, different sensors are required. Once we develop a sensor which can give moisture level and nitrogen input data, that will be very better. Because we cannot buy every sensor for a small farm.
Okay. Okay.
Simply, we have to go which is the most precious input required at our farm that can be done, or which is the most costliest input. That
Okay.
as
Okay.
such, we cannot say how much investment is required for making a farm complete with this.
Something related question we have, sir. One more. Most farms in India are around 2 acres in size. Do you think smart farming makes sense to these small farmers?
I have said earlier also that small farms cannot be so much remunerative making a smart farm. We can go for cooperatives. Bigger farm can be managed very easily. Means if we put sensors on a larger area or larger, the machine can be used for on a large scale. Because acre or 2 acre farm, that machine cannot be used. That manual harvesting will be better as compared to combined harvesting for harvesting 1 acre of land. And it is not economical also.
Okay.
Putting a harvesting machine for a small farm.
Okay. Okay. I'll move on to the next question, sir. Most of the land is rain irrigated in India. What are some ways smart farming solutions can help in these lands?
Some agronomical interventions besides this climate smart means Some intervention, small intervention, it is based on the experience of the farmer. Simply rainfall situation, normally farmer goes for broadcasting of fertilizer after rains. That is better because once the fertilizer dissolved with water, that can be used by the plant. Otherwise, it will be lost in the environment. This, with the through of machine, with the help of machines or our human experience, because machine cannot give everything based on their intelligence. The humans are more intelligent than machines. Because we are making the machine. The machines are not making humans. But the benefit of machine, they are unbiased. But human, sometimes they are biased. And the carelessness. It means, आज नहीं करेंगे कल कर देंगे वो वाला attitude बात नहीं होती. But in case of machines, it is do it today. That's all.
Okay. Who are some of the major players in smart farming technology in India today?
Right now, it is not so much popular in India. It is more popular in foreign countries where the population is less and the workers are low. But in India, we can hope so that in future, say 10 to 5 to 10 years, it will be seen in our farms also. Like the government is promoting more drone-based applications of pesticides and spraying of fertilizers. And the government is promoting this nowadays. First, they are giving to the research institutes, then it will be, once the demonstration is successful, it will be transmitted to the farmer field.
Okay. Agriculture is a big sector not disrupted by technology as yet. How do you see technology evolving in future?
See the situation of the labor, agriculture labor. They are not getting enough wages. And most of the land that is given to on rent or batai, that system is followed. Landowners are not cultivating their land, they give to someone, they cultivate and give some part of profit or rates produced there. But in if technologies are available, landowners will do. But at the same time, this technology may hamper the employment generation also. We have to see this. It is a social part. When all the farms are using higher technologies, most of the human labor, or the agricultural labor will get unemployed. We have to see this also.
Okay.
And most of the farm will get.
Okay. We have one last question, sir. I will just read it out. Please tell us about your education and career background and your interest in agriculture.
Yeah, it is. The subject is being taught in different universities nowadays. For this, this different type of collaborations are required as compared to single discipline means crop scientists, then engineers, software engineers, hardware developers. They all should work on a common platform. That way we can have a good technology. Simply one agriculture scientist cannot do wonders. Likewise, the other software developers, they do not know which type of crop they are approaching. With integration or the collaboration, different disciplines, and these courses are taught nowadays in university, agriculture universities.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell us about your background, sir?
My background.
Yeah.
educated from G.V. Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar. It is the first agriculture university in the country. After taking the doctorate degree from Pantnagar, I joined Agriculture Research Services of Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Uh, More than 28 years, I served in hot deserts in Central Asia.
Sir, we are not able to hear you, sir. Dr. Anurag. Sir, we lost your audio. Dr. Anurag. Sir, we lost your audio. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I thank Dr. Anurag Saxena for the talk and for answering the questions. I'll also like to thank all the participants in this meeting. This meeting will now be closed.